Yideng BT-S2 promises big bike comms on a scooter budget, up to a 1,000-meter rider-to-rider range, crystal clear calls at highway speeds, and 10 to 12 hours of talk time. Either we've reached budget intercom paradise or we're staring at another case of spec sheet fantasy. On paper, you get Bluetooth 3.0, pairing for up to 3 riders with 2 talking at once, noise suppression, and water resistance. Sounds criminally generous for the price, right? But here's the thing, range claims this big with older Bluetooth standards raise eyebrows. Here's what caught my attention on the road. I installed it on 2 helmets and tested it over 2 weeks across city streets, open highway, and a rainy Sunday ride. I've put the direct link to check current pricing in the description, but before you click anything, let me show you what I discovered after 2 weeks of testing. Let's set expectations. The BT-S2 claims to do the essentials for riders on a budget: 801,000 m line-of-sight intercom range, pair up to 3 riders 2 active at a time, quick switching, 10-12 hours of talk time, 300+ hours standby, stereo music, GPS prompts, and phone calls with noise suppression. Sounds promising, right? Pretty bold claims for something that usually sells far below the brand name competition. But here's where things get interesting. Reality check. They claim up to 1,000 m of intercom range. What you actually get is about 250-400 m of stable connection line of sight in the real world, with dropouts starting around 500-600 m and complete loss once a hill, truck, or a couple of turns get between riders. Here's why: Bluetooth 3.0 with a small helmet-mounted antenna and the human body acting like a big bag of water blocking RF makes that kilometer claim fragile. In urban riding, I consistently saw 150-200 m before the audio started stuttering. Here's where it gets mathematically impossible. Maintaining a clean 1 km link on Bluetooth 3.0 through traffic, cars, and elevation changes simply isn't happening. They say noise suppression keeps calls clear at speed. What you actually get is decent clarity up to around 50-60 mph on a full-face helmet, but wind roar starts leaking into the mic above that. On a naked bike at 70 mph, callers told me my voice sounded hollow with wind bursts cutting in when I shoulder check. Evidence: I recorded call samples on back roads and highway segments. Sub 60 mph was fine, over 65 mph was hit or miss unless I tucked in and shielded the mic. They claim 10-12 hours of talk time. What you actually get is about 7-8 hours with mixed intercom and music, and 9-10 hours of mostly intercom-only chatter in mild weather. In colder temps, I saw a 20-25% drop. That lines up with the realities of a small lithium cell powering Bluetooth plus an always-on mic and speakers. They say water-resistant. Reality: it handled light rain and road spray without issue. In a sustained downpour, one unit developed squishy buttons for a few hours like moisture seeped in under the rubber. It dried out and kept working, but I wouldn't trust this to be IP rated for all-day storms. They promise seamless multipoint, phone plus GPS plus intercom. In practice, audio priority favors phone calls over intercom, GPS prompts will interrupt conversations, and there's no true 3-way conference, just switching between paired riders. The switch takes a second or two, which is fine at a stop but annoying mid-ride. Also, music sharing isn't a thing here, and volume steps are coarse, so it's loud or louder with not much finesse. Here's the plot twist. For the price, a lot of this is forgivable if you keep expectations in check. But wait, there's more. Listing patterns are all over the place. Different storefronts sell what looks like the same hardware under multiple names, and some review analysis tools flag suspicious patterns. That doesn't mean it's junk, but it does mean treat the perfect 5-star raves with caution. Sound quality: music playback is passable for podcasts and navigation, thin for music. The speakers are low profile and fit easily in most ear pockets, but bass is limited and highs get splashy at max volume. Above 60 mph, the lack of low end means you crank it and invite distortion. If you wear earplugs, you should. It helps tame the harshness and makes voice clearer. Battery life: my mixed-use ride days averaged 7.5 hours before the low battery chirps. Standby drain overnight was minimal. Charging from empty took about 2.5 hours on a basic USB charger. You can ride and charge with a battery pack if you don't mind a cable, but weatherproofing becomes sketchy. Build and mounting: the clamp and adhesive mounts are straightforward, and the boom mic is flexible enough for modular and full-face lids. Buttons are glove-friendly in theory, but long press functions overlap and it's easy to trigger the wrong mode until muscle memory kicks in. The housing feels budget plastic. It'll survive a drop in the garage, but don't expect Cena-level refinement. Intercom and controls. Pairing 2 units is simple. Adding a third is where tech roulette begins. You can pair 3 but only talk to 1 at a time, and switching partners introduces a short delay and occasional misfires. GPS prompts reliably duck the intercom, but sometimes the audio doesn't bounce back cleanly, forcing a manual reconnect. Here's what nobody tells you. Older Bluetooth 3.0 means higher latency and less robust links versus newer 5x units. That's why your music controls sometimes lag and why range collapses the moment terrain or traffic intrudes. Also, many user reviews praise long-range performance. Dig deeper, and a chunk of those rides happened on empty farm roads line of sight. City riders report much shorter links. Verdict: buy with caution. If your use case is budget-friendly duo rides, sub-60 mph comms, weekend errands, and you want basic music and GPS prompts, the Yideng BT-S2 delivers decent value, especially when it's on sale or in a dual pack. Pros: low price, simple 2-person intercom, acceptable battery life, easy mounting. Cons: inflated range claims, dated Bluetooth 3.0, so-so water resistance, thin audio, clunky group switching. If you regularly tour at highway speeds, ride in big groups, or want rock-solid connectivity, save your money for a Cardo Spirit HD, Cardo Freecom, or Sena 5S. Worth it if you're cost-conscious and realistic. Skip it if you crave premium reliability. Stay safe and stay savvy out there. Thanks for watching. If this review saved you from wasting money or helped you find something actually worth buying, I've put the link to check current pricing and read more reviews in the description. And hey, if you do decide to buy through my link, it helps fund these investigations without costing you extra. Drop your bike model and helmet setup in the comments and I'll suggest the best budget speakers to upgrade these. Next up, I'm testing a sub-$100 intercom that claims mesh-like range without the mesh. Subscribe so you don't miss the showdown. Ride smart, spend smarter.